Right now is episode 40.
Yeah.
Which I probably might be going completely overboard with the topics we're going to talk about today.
How do you mean by overboard?
As in, like, I got 5 stuff in here to talk about. The infamous Greyhound Island, the first Marvel Spider-Man cartoon, Annie, and Star Wars Rebels. I'm going to start with Spider-Man first.
Spider-Man.
Which?
Maximum Venom, Season 3, Marvel Spider-Man.
Yes, it's produced by Marvel Animation, but it's all out on Disney XD.
What is Disney XD?
Similar to the Disney Channel, but like if they can like make enough room for those specific programs on the actual Disney Channel, we just move it to Disney XD.
It's interesting how it works, isn't it? Because there used to just be the Disney Channel in my childhood, but now there's Disney Plus, and I got the feeling that everything was there. But Disney XD is a TV channel. It's a channel that can find.
Yeah, but now all those channels are going to be gone by the end of the year.
Do you think?
Yeah, so they're going to like everything from the outside onto Disney Plus.
Right, interesting. So we'll look out for that. So for now, I mean, when we end this particular discussion, we'll mention again that it's available on Disney XD, but let's get into the bones. So the genre is action, adventure, sci-fi, animated, superhero, based on Spider-Man by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, Venom by Donny Cates and Marvel Comics. Ryan lists the voice cast, the production, and the plot. In the third season, titled Marvel Spider-Man, Maximum Venom, Spider-Man is pushed to his breaking point when Venom summons an earth-shattering threat from its home planet. Peter Parker has been Spider-Man for 2, not exactly smooth years. Venom changes all that when he brings about a battle with global stakes. I was looking forward to this season, Spider-Man I hadn't seen before. The season was fine. In the pros, I like the way Spider-Man got along with other Marvel heroes. I got to give it credit to the advertisement. Venom was a huge presence in this season, and during the season, Spider-Man and friends feel like part of the wider Marvel universe. In the cons, a number of episodes were downgraded rashly to finish the series. I wish that Gwen and Anya were more involved in the storyline, and I've only seen half of this season. Let me just ask you about that last point. You've only seen half of the season. Do you have to finish watching it still?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
This is when it gets really complicated. I watched this regular long lorry on Disney Plus, which is like, it's so like the first couple of the season, or probably they didn't get around it because they had to like push, like just like quickly we gotta get new content on Disney Plus, and they started like Maximum Venom Season 3 and put it next to the Spider-Man one. And the funny thing is, when I watched that on Disney Plus, I looked at the Wikipedia page and realised it's got last couple episodes of it online.
Was that not obvious to you? I'm not criticising. Was that not obvious when you were watching it that there were more episodes, or not?
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm like, let's just get through it. Yeah, so to speak.
So when will you see the final episodes, Ryan? And will that come a story?
Well, yeah, you can like catch the actual conclusion on YouTube. Because like on their Disney XD YouTube channel, they split like the conclusion of this storyline, stripping through parts. Season. So yeah,
I quite like that. I think if you're a dedicated fan, then you'll track it down. I chuckled when you said YouTube, because of course everything's on YouTube, but that's not the best place to officially see something. But then if it's their official YouTube channel, cool. Yeah. Okay, so that was really one of the only cons, and that they downgraded the number of episodes to finish the series. So does that tie in with what we were just saying? They kind of rushed.
Yeah, like rushed number of episodes because probably they didn't know that, you know what, we're gonna like cut course because of the pandemic. They started, we're gonna just like rushly like ended quickly only because we run out of passion for this cartoon.
It doesn't sound great for the fans if the makers have run out of passion. Can you tell that it has a pandemic effect? Can you kind of, when you're watching it, can you kind of tell, oh, that should have been a bit more explosion-y, but I don't know.
way. Well, yeah, a little bit, because like it felt like a bit washy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, as in like the first couple half of the season deal with the aftermath of season 2 of like trying not to get the Venom symbiote in harm's hands of evil people, but they it's actually like alien race of symbiotes. Probably gonna like take over Earth. It was a big, massive invasion.
Sounding very Guardians of the Galaxy now. We're definitely in Marvel territory. This is MCU territory and not just Spider-Man from C. Yeah.
Yeah, like you got like most of the characters are like straight in the MCU, like the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers.
They're in this, are they?
Yeah, well, briefly, yes. Like only Spider-Man story, but Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy are probably like guest characters.
So just quickly, is there a cartoon version of Chris Pratt, the Star-Lord, and that kind of thing?
Well, yeah, with the rest of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Interesting.
But they don't actually like expand. Well, actually, I'll take that back. It does expand the Guardians of the Galaxy universe, but it's not pretty much like, well, it's not really well thought out. It's like more like just like shoot line, like everything, shoot line, everything out there. Oh, here's this character, not from the movie you saw.
Yeah, it's a fantastic balancing act. Can I just say, when the Marvel films were coming out, I've not watched them, but I read about how each character needed the same amount of screen time in Avengers. And you just think, that's so hard for the director to go and make sure Hulk gets as much screen time as Thor and whatever. And there's so many of them. So this program, it didn't do that so well. It just felt like they were shoehorned.
Well, not only that, but I mean, all the recent Marvel cartoons. Yeah.
They've all had the same thing. Everyone's got, it's like a Christmas party. Everyone's got to be there. You can't leave them out.
Exactly. You nailed it right on the head there.
You enjoyed this though, Ryan?
Oh, yeah. For the best half.
You give credit to the advertisement for Venom, that he was a huge... So Venom was done very well.
Yeah. So, I will say about the advertisement.
Go on.
The advertisement, which is like really all over the place, really. As in, like, they had like action figures of Master and Venom to promote it. Yeah, and like you've probably seen them on Google, which is like tons of pictures, which I'm trying to like eliminate on here.
Yeah, Marvel Spider-Man, yeah.
But not but that's okay.
It communicates, that's great.
And sticky characters as well. They got to manage to fit in log characters from the current comics into this show.
So I was just going to mention, Ryan's listed the cast and characters, but the Spider Team.
Yeah.
And someone who's not watched the Spider-Verse, these are characters I've heard of, but not really aware of. So you've got Spider-Man, obviously Peter Parker. You've got Ultimate Spider-Man. You've got Ghost Spider, Spider-Girl, and then Hobgoblin. So not only are all the MCU characters in this, but all the Spider-Men, women, people.
Yeah. Yeah, which is Gwen Stacy as Spider-Girl Gwen, or these days people know her as Ghost Spider.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Spider-Man, which is Marvel Wallace, which they are pushing really hard out there in the public eye. Spider-Girl, of course, there was another skill Spider Powers woman there.
And your Corazon. So again, Ryan, I'm just reading this off Ryan's review. Ryan has listed a whole paragraph for each character describing who they are, potentially how they feature in this program as well. So if you want to know how it all works, Ryan has broken it down for you.
Oh, yeah. And Mary Jane Watson.
Is she superb now, or is she just still the damsel in distress?
Well, yeah, just the damsel in distress, really.
Okay.
And also, they got, like, brand new ones for the recent comic books. Like, example, they got Ironheart, which is, like, the sit-in for Tony Stark in the comic books, which is African-American.
Right.
There's Captain Marvel. There's Totally Awesome Hulk, which is Upper Day Show, like missing the powers and the same as the Incredible Hulk. Bruce Banner turned into the Incredible Hulk, but like a big, small kid genius who still can transform into the Hulk, but has like a bro at the same time.
So Bruce Banner is no longer the only Hulk.
Yeah, he's not the only Hulk. The Hulk, Totally Awesome Hulk.
Yeah, She-Hulk as well. Totally Awesome Hulk. I'd like that as my moniker, my business card. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So this is season 3. You can watch season 1 and 2 because I'm all about context, Ryan. So if people want to start from the beginning, they can watch that on the YouTube channel or on Disney HD.
Well, I think the entire series on its own, I think all of them are definitely on streaming on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. So if you want to check out from the beginning, because obviously Ryan is talking about the third installment of this series, I presume a lot of these characters we're talking about, it happens over the course of series 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So if you were to jump into this, if you know your MCU, you can follow it. But if you're like me and you barely know who's who, you might want to start at the beginning.
Oh yeah. And also, like a lot of the other ones, they are probably there just one of like boss characters.
Okay, yeah. So they
Like-
feature, they're not in it much.
No, like example, a lot of the other Venoms, like Scream, Stalk, and Maria.
Okay.
I know it's weird. There's also AIM, which
They're back.
are there just to get beaten by SpiderMan and Black Panther over again.
Okay.
And the Lizard, Dr. Kirk Connors.
Yeah.
Which is not in the series that much. And Moon Knight.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange. I mean, there's so many characters. Again, Ryan has listed all of this. If you're on Ryan's review, which obviously we'll put into the description of this video, you can scroll through and look at all the people that show up in this cartoon. Do you think the movies, Ryan? I don't know if the movies are finished now, but if they were still making MCU movies, will they have to consider what the plots of these cartoons are doing?
I think
the films do their own thing.
I do get what you're saying, but I think now they're under new management.
Yeah.
As they get rid of the people who are responsible for not allowing all this to happen, to stay connected. Now, I think they are actually these ones to start fresh. Now, I'm the new man, the boss now. All this stuff had to go from me.
Under new management. So DC are the same, aren't they? Because they've started their new continuity. So both franchises, both behemoths, are starting from scratch in 2021. Yeah. Okay.
But they are still connected to the movies now.
Yeah.
So I feel like this Red Dog Marvel Spider-Man is like a kid. This is like a series that should probably cater to younger audiences.
I mean, I got into Spider-Man when I was 9 or something in a big way with the cartoons. It really took the cartoons to get me.
Me too.
And then I was hooked. I love Spider-Man. I just am not that interested in all these different versions of him now because I have my version from the 1990s. Ryan, at the end of his review, says, I won't recommend this and the rest of this version of Spider-Man in animation, and you rate it 5 out of 10. So it's a mixed bag. You enjoyed it, but you're saying watch it at your own discretion. It's not a must-watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right, moving on from that is Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
Which I think this is after the Revenge of the Sith.
So this is Star Wars throwback review, Star Wars Rebels, the complete series 2014 to 18?
Yeah, indeed.
Cool. Oh, I could have just shown you the picture. So.
I could have chosen the best one.
Zoom in a bit.
This one is. I know I meant to choose a better one. I thought, let's just go with that.
That's fine. So this is science fiction, adventure, action. It's Star Wars. So we get all of that. The plot, when the Galactic Empire secures its hold on the galaxy, hunting down the last Jedi Knights, a Starship crew decides to stand up against them. It's Blake 7, which is a reference you probably won't get. This show is really good. Pros. This show is structured very differently than Clone Wars. I ended up liking all the new characters at the beginning of the series. The cameos were the best parts about the series, and the rest of the show was a continuation of the aftermath at the end of the Clone Wars. In the cons, the storytelling at times gets complicated. The new villains, besides Darth Maul and Vader, weren't that engaging to me, and sadly, I didn't see the relationship between Kanan and Hera Blossom. So those are love interests or just friends?
Oh yeah, I think they are friends.
Okay, it's not like a Anakin and Padme relationship.
No. Because here's the thing, when I said about the last one, it's because I was watching this way back several years ago.
Okay.
I mean, on the telly on every Saturday morning.
Just to remind, so it's 2014 to 2018. Ryan's put in the title of his review. So this is a throwback. This is old. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 years, yeah. And I really like it. Although to me, I'm not really that good with names related to Star Wars.
No, they're a mixed bag of strange names. Yeah.
Yeah, but I end up coming like them. Definitely the Beast character. Chapter, and they got like characters who came back from Clone Wars, like Ahsoka and Captain West.
Which are the two you mentioned that survived. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's good canon for me, Ryan. You're helping me understand what actually happened after the Order 66 and then the Revenge of the Sith and then whatever. Would you say that this is canon that you should watch before you watch A New Hope and stuff? I'm not saying
Yeah,
you
I
finished
think
your...
it does, yeah.
Okay.
I think I got this right. It's the prequels, Clone Wars, which is prequels, it's pretty much like the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So they connect to each other. And there's Rogue One, not Rogue One, sorry. Here is the whole Solo film.
Yeah.
And this series and Rogue One, just to all set up the original trilogy.
So watch this straight after Revenge of the Sith. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, no, actually, you can watch this after the Han Solo film.
Sorry, right. So Solo and then this. That's cool,
Yeah.
right? A lot of these I need to catch up on. So maybe I will. I'll get all of the Star Wars canon in my head.
Great.
Is it animated?
Yes, definitely.
The graphic doesn't make it very obvious whether it's computer generated in the Disney Pixar mold or whether it's kind of more cel-shaded, hand-drawn.
Definitely not hand-drawn.
Okay, so it's computer made, but a bit like the Transformers animated movie that we spoke about some weeks ago. It's not exactly trying to be realistic CGI, but it's not hand-drawn. It's kind of computer cartoon. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you could put it that way.
It'd be a lot more free when it's cartoony. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel as silly when real people. When you've got Christopher Lee backflipping in Attack of the... I didn't like that.
But yeah, I think I highly recommend this series.
Yeah.
If you want to see the continuation of this saga.
Yeah, wonderful. Because, I felt, Ryan, cheated when I watched Revenge of the Sith. I wanted to know what happened with all of that because it cuts to A New Hope, which is like 30 years later. But I want to know what the aftermath of Revenge of the Sith is. So I'm more interested in this than the Clone Wars program, personally.
Oh, that's a fair concession there.
So thank you for putting it. I never knew this existed until we talked about it. So nice one. Right. I'm just going to skip to the end of this where you say 8 out of 10 highly recommends watching this series on Disney Plus. Goes to Clone Wars Saga. So if you like Clone Wars, you will enjoy this and it's on Disney.
Definitely, yes. And now let's move on to the films side of things.
Yep.
Starting with the movie from Apple TV Plus, Greyhound.
Greyhound. I've obviously heard of this because it's a big Tom Hanks film. And tragically, I'll just say what I know. It was supposed to have a big IMAX release, but of course, COVID-19. So it's been streamable instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, let's read what Ryan has to say about it. So it's an action thriller drama war history. It's a World War II drama based on The Good Shepherd by C.F. Forrester, starring Tom Hanks, Stephen Graham, Rob Morgan, and Elizabeth Shue. The U.S. Navy commander Ernest Krause is assigned to lead an Allied convoy across the Atlantic during World War II. His convoy, however, is pursued by German U-boats. Although this is Krause's first wartime mission, he finds himself embroiled in what would become to be known as the longest, largest, and most complex naval battle in history, the Battle of the Atlantic. The film was fine. In the pros, Tom Hanks' performance was good, and this was a calm film for families to sit down and watch. In the cons, the film can get grim and difficult to sit through at times. Right, and then Ryan Lipcast, and you give this one 3.5 out of 5. So that's an interesting change to your star rating, but that means you like this one. This is a good film.
Yeah, I think it's just as calm, like I said before on here. It's a calm film to watch.
So it's a slow burn, would you say? It probably builds up.
Definitely a slow burn, yeah. Certain moments in the film, it's like a slow one. And my God, it feels like it's been going on like forever. Ships have been sunk into the sea.
Yeah.
Like,
So the Battle of the Atlantic was the longest battle in all of World War II. It lasted a war, effectively. And it was mainly about the U-boats trying to stop the ships bringing food to Britain. Because if Germany could starve Britain, then Britain would have to surrender. So it really was vital that they win the Battle of the Atlantic. And they eventually did, obviously, because World War II was won by the Allies. But it was touch and go. It was about technology changing, depth charges and pedos, ships versus submarines. So it's a really good story to tell.
Yeah.
I'll just say this. As with Saving Private Ryan, and I'm trying to think of that film that had the Enigma machine. It came out in 2000.
Big.
No, not Big. Sorry, this isn't Tom Hanks movies. World War II film.
I know what I'm talking about, but I just... really bumps up my mind. Which one you were talking about?
There's a film where they discover the Enigma machine on a submarine, and this is in 2000, and it was at the Oscars for sound effects and stuff, but it was protested by English war veterans because it was the English or the British that found this submarine, not the Americans. And the Americans just glossed over that with Hollywood routine. And Saving Private Ryan, the boats at the beginning sequence drop the troops. They have American stars on them. They were actually British. So the Americans have a way of cutting out any other people from the story of World War II. They always make it about them. So I'm guessing this film does the same.
Yeah, and goddamn, and at times it feels like to me gone forever watching it. But you can't help but Tom Hanks' performance.
Great. So historical inaccuracies aside, Tom Hanks is watchable. He's good fun.
Yeah, he's pretty much the greatest actor ever lived.
Yeah, he's awesome. I'd watch him in anything.
But doing Woody.
I mean, of course, yeah, he's fantastic in everything. Have you seen Captain Phillips, Ryan?
No. Well, actually, television before.
This is the Somali pirates taking over Tom Hanks' boat. So I'm just wondering if this film is similar to that one.
Well, similar. It's on a ship.
Yeah, you've got a bad guy, you've got a good guy, and it's a very small cast.
Yeah, and to me, I thought this was fine. So basically, I'm going to skip through here. A lot to cover.
Okay.
I'll give this 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And I have for those who had an Apple TV Plus subscription, you can watch this on there.
So only available on Apple Plus TV.
Yeah, or any other streaming app could possibly find.
I was going to say, I would assume they would want it to be available on as many platforms as possible, but Apple TV is kind of where it was launched.
Yeah, it said while you're on the poster, can I watch exclusively on Apple TV Plus?
Yeah, but now that we're into December, it's probably on other outlets.
Well, probably, yeah.
Okay, so look up Greyhound if you're interested, but that's where you can find it. Cool. Okay, Ryan, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, let's get into the King of Staten Island, which is
The King of Staten Island. There's your poster. That would be the King of Staten Island, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is a comedy directed by Judd Apatow, produced by him as well, and written by him, starring Pete Davidson, Marissa Tomei, Bill Burr, Belle Powley, Maud Apatow, and Steve Buscemi. The plot: a semi-autobiographical comedy drama about Pete Davidson growing up in Staten Island, including losing his father during 9/11 and entering the world of stand-up comedy. So it's a biopic. Ryan says, I wanted to see this movie before lockdown commenced. The film was so great. They captured the spirit of Staten Island perfectly. This is my first time viewing Pete Davidson acting on screen, which he did a very good job with his acting talent. You feel for each character in the story, and the best moments in the film were Pete Davidson's character interacting with the county firefighters. In the cons, my only con of this film is that it's a little too long of a movie. Biopics tend to be that way. They tend to be long-winded because the maker wants to tell you everything about the person they think is worth telling, and then cutting out all the other stuff. So, who is, and maybe I should know, but who is Pete Davidson?
I think he's like one of those hopeful alumni from Saturday Night Live.
All right, so he's a Saturday Night Live comedian, a bit like a Not Michael Myers.
Not Chris Humphrey. John Belushi.
No, it is Mike Myers. Basically, a lot of these guys that set themselves up in doing comedy, they started on SNL. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
All those ones.
Cool. So it is just autobiographical comedy drama about him, and I haven't heard of him before, so it would be all new to me.
Oh yeah, and this is this is my first time ever seeing Pete Davidson in anything.
So, if I may, Ryan, and this isn't to say that how dare you watch a film that isn't related to Marvel or Star Wars or what have you, but what brought you to this film?
Well, these are one of the films I wanted to see before COVID-19 hit the UK.
Said that in your review. So is this from beginning of the year, or do you mean the second UK lockdown?
Oh no, I think this is beginning of the year.
Okay, so you were hoping to see this in the cinema. Is that the case?
Yes, because I see this was nominated for a bunch of awards.
I got you. Okay, so yeah, that draws me in as well. If people are critically acclaiming something, then you think, not bad. Cool.
So yeah.
I was just there. I've not seen Trainwreck either. The poster for me feels like a Johnny Knoxville type thing, like a Jack.
I can see what you me there.
But also, he might just like to stand on cars with his shirt off. That might just be how he rolls.
Yeah. Well, not really. Again, this is the first time I've seen him in anything other than voicing Angry Birds.
Okay, right. Claims to fame. Okay, so and again, you rate this one 5 out of 5. So it's a good film. If you start watching it, you won't be disappointed.
Yes.
Cool.
And now let's get to the second one.
Yep.
Is with Jessica Chastain, and I thought it was really good.
What film are we talking about now, Ryan?
Oh, the
Ava.
Ava, yeah.
Okay, right. Yeah. I've seen this advertised on the Netflix. I'm guessing that's where you can see it.
Yeah, either cinema or buy on DVD, or what you just said, look it up on Netflix.
Right, this is an action, mystery, and thriller. You've got a lot of the James Bond tropes. You've got a beautiful lady with an interesting cut on her cheek.
Yeah, that's a good line.
We've got
Evil lady.
Evil lady. Well, she looks like she's holding a gun. She doesn't look like she cares whether she kills lots of people.
Sorry, Jessica Chastain.
Yep.
Karma, John Malkovich, and Colin Farrell.
Indeed, yeah. Ryan lists the cast. As ever, all of the credentials before he gets into the plot. An assassin becomes marked for death by her own Black Ops organization after questioning orders and breaking protocol. Ryan was hoping the movie would be more like Killing Eve or Atomic Blonde. The film was really good. In the prose, the action sequences felt real, how they were executed. The main actors did great jobs in their roles. Ava's backstory was all done by a series of montages, and the ending of this film teases itself for a sequel somehow. In the cons, some characters need more moments to breathe or to get known more. Certain scenes are in the wrong order, and the final battle with Colin Farrell's character was unforgettable. So is that a con?
Well, yeah.
Do you mean forgettable?
Yeah, I think Colin Farrell's character is forgettable because you assume that he's something like to the training the same as Jennifer Ava's been through along with her. You do get a sense look at him as like just Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell just trying to be devious, not actually like give a toss.
Okay. I like him as an actor, but you're right. He's basically himself. He's got that Jack Nicholson thing where he just turns up on set and goes, I'm Colin Farrell. And whatever film he does, it's just him wearing different clothes.
Yeah, like I even remember him from the Daredevil movie from 2003.
The Irish bad guy.
At least he was like the best part about that film.
There's a great film called Tigerland, which was his first film, I think, which is about training to go to war in Vietnam. That's a very good film, and he does a very good American accent in that. But obviously, my favourite is In Bruges. You can't top that film.
Oh yeah, but it was a disappointment in the first Fantastic Beasts film.
Oh yes, he got replaced by Johnny Depp, didn't he?
Yes, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the bit when I said about series of montages,
yep,
in related to a backstory, as in a series of montages. Double the opening when he's like Evergate on a mission to assassinate a potential candidate for president of Russia.
Okay.
And it's basically the guy who played Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four movies.
Okay.
Yeah, which he got assassinated very quickly. And you get to know her a little bit. Series montages from her, like family struggles with her mum, which like handicapped, and like a on and off again boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because everyone who wants anything.
You say that's an effective way of telling her backstory, and presumably not taking up too much screen time.
Yeah,
and it's interesting, isn't it? When you have assassins trained by a guild of assassins, you often think, where did they grow up? Like, what were they like as children? So it's interesting for them to do backstory. Like, you think about, have you ever seen Collateral with Tom Cruise?
Well, I meant to watch that.
Okay, sorry, I won't go on about that. But basically, Tom Cruise is this hitman, and you just think, I'd love to know your backstory. How did you end up the way you are? So this is not just about her as a grown person, but it's telling her history.
Yeah, or I think like in the same language, like something like in an evil, the female version of John Wick or Atomic Blonde.
Right, I've not heard of Atomic Blonde. I mean, apart from like Blondie, but anyway.
We did post it.
Apologies if you've spoken about it, Ryan. It doesn't always filter in. Killing Eve is interesting because that has episodes after to explain her backstory.
Yeah, I haven't watched that either.
I've seen the first series. It's good fun, good crap. Yeah. This only has a certain runtime, couple of hours, I'm guessing, in order to tell the whole story. I've got to tell her story, the reason she's on this mission, and the bad guy of Colin Farrell.
Yeah, which so they didn't impress me that much. And
Yeah.
but I will say Jessica Chastain, whatever screen time she had in the film,
Yeah.
I thought she's executed the physicality and the action pretty well.
It reminds me of us talking about Megan Fox last week, a hardened mercenary, and I was being a bit cruel. It's just when you have an impression of someone in your head, it's hard to then, it'd be like if Jim Carrey was a hardened assassin, you'd be like, what?
Yeah, and also it's also come down to like how it's written.
So this is written well. You enjoyed the physicality, but I'm guessing the story carried you as well. It wasn't really annoying or stupid.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same movie.
Yeah, and the wife, the mum in the wheelchair, I think it's played by Josie. Go on, get the one name.
John Chen.
John Chen, yes. Which I thought it was freaking great in the movie.
That's good.
Which is like just explain like their family struggles become that way.
Any more you want to say about this one, Ryan?
No, really. Other than the last bit when I said I recommend watching this film when it comes to Netflix on December 7, which is now gone by now. It's on Netflix for you to enjoy.
Cool. I might give that a go, Ryan. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And the last one of the day
Yep.
is Infamous.
Infamous. I'll try that.
Infamous. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll show you the poster and then you can tell me.
Yeah, that's it. Well done.
Cool. Okay. So infamous is when you're famous for bad reasons. It's not a good thing.
Which pretty much deals with like you pretty much seen it yourself. Of probably modern day like consequences. Just want to get famous on social media.
Yeah.
And you see this like it's on YouTube all the time. Like, and also in real life, like people like Justin Bieber. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Mariah Carey.
Just unfairly picked a name.
Look up people, something like that.
Influencers and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a Rick and Morty new series, an episode where they call them unproductive. It's brilliant. Check out Rick and Morty. Anyway, this is drama, crime, mystery, and thriller, directed by Joshua Caldwell, starring Bella Thorne, Jake Manley, Amber Riley, Michael Ciro, and Marissa Hoffman. It is a reckless woman and her new boyfriend become social media sensations when she streams their cross-country robberies online. I was looking forward to this film because it shows the pitfalls and rewards of being obsessed, being famous on social media. This film was very good. In the prose, it was good at exploring how far you are willing to go to be famous. The film is gorgeously well shot and edited, and this film shares similarities with Bonnie and Clyde and Natural Born Killers. Brilliant drops there, Ryan. Save me mentioning both of those now. In the cons, this film does suffer from editing problems. The characters are not very likable, and the subject matter can be boring and repetitive. Wow, that's brilliant. That's a really good summation. On the not likable front, I mean, they are robbing people, and their influences. Those are two reasons not to like them.
Oh yeah, and also like you kind of sense you believe Bella's character in some sense of like, okay, she pretty much like just bored with her job, bored of school, and she's like, no, I want to do something really exciting.
Right.
Get love and no wine, get love and more appreciation for people around her a lot. Okay. But without even realising the consequences of action.
Have you seen Natural Born Killers, Ryan?
No, but I heard of it.
Okay, that's a great film.
But now we're discussing it, probably on my good try one day.
I think it has the most cut in any film in history. Oliver Stone does a lot of animation and just weird projected stuff. It's a very art house kind of movie, but it's all about the celebrity that killers and robbers and bad people in America get.
Yeah, and you pretty much see that every time with kids. Well, kids or young adults today. I just want to be famous for doing whatever.
Yeah, I don't care if it's good or I just want people to be talking about me. It's not great.
And instead of saying, you know what? No, what you're actually doing, like attention.
Surely better to be liked for doing something good than just famous for doing bad things. But that's what they're tapping into.
Yeah, but at least I'm doing it right.
Well, we're okay. We're not robbing.
Doing my dead or like my ear.
Yeah, we get famous the right way. I don't recognize any of the actors, but that doesn't mean they're not massively famous. I just don't watch films anymore.
Actually, except for my girl, Better for One.
Right, yeah.
There's been loads of other stuff other than Shake It Up on the Disney Channel.
Right.
And the co-star, Zendaya, she's up there like winning awards. Definitely for the first African-American actress to win Best Actress at the Oscars.
So, are we talking about this film still?
Sorry, didn't mean to scare off topic there.
No, you're not off topic, Ryan. What I was going to ask was, how old is this film? Because when we talk about them, I always just assume that they've recently been released. But this is from last year, is it?
No, this is definitely released this year.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about the Oscars coming up?
Well, sorry, no. I just talked about co-star. But I didn't realise I was getting off topic.
That's okay. Well, I do it all the time, Ryan, though. I don't mind.
So at least we got something in common there.
Something, but one thing in common. No, this, as a 21st century natural born killer, this seems quite interesting, but I don't want to invest all that into it. It might just be run of the mill.
So yeah, I thought this is well short, like directed.
You say the shooting and the editing is gorgeous. Is that like where they are in America? You know, is it the wide open country, or?
I think this is like way before they did the last ad of the film, which is like bank, which they are trying to he's her boyfriend, to talk about this friend he's known since being released from prison, who's run like this gang brutality, and she just wants to like rob every money for every like and every like online, like pretty much like Facebook and Instagram.
So she's doing it just for that. She's doing it just to then post about it on social.
Yeah, without realising the consequences.
Yeah, I guess that's potentially the moral arc of the film, is that, you know, all these consequences will catch up with you. It's like Bonnie and Clyde. Let's not spoil the ending, but they either go to prison or they die, I'm guessing. But well, the viewers can find out.
Yeah, like leave it as that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I recommend buying this film on your iTunes shop.
Okay, right. So iTunes, to buy this film, to download it permanently.
Yeah, which is actually only $4.99.
That's the kind of thing where you see a DVD for that money and you think it's not a brilliant film. But maybe this is just the way it is now. Yeah,
just the way it is now.
Yeah, I mean, versus, Ryan, the point I want to make is versus £20 for Mulan just to watch it once. I mean, come on, you could buy this film 3 times.
That's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll just let you know quickly, I watched The Secret Garden.
What's that, Ryan?
The Secret Garden, hang on, let's see the picture of it. I watched Star Wars Rebellion.
Come back away from the screen a bit, because it's gone a bit blurry. Star Wars Resistance?
Yeah, which is like a lead up to The Force Awakens.
Oh my god, so we've got a third cartoon series that connects the Star Wars movies.
Yes, way before the sequel trilogy.
Got you, okay.
Which is basically like a really good showcase for the First Order.
Yeah, because I mean, I watched the 2015 movie once, and I wasn't really paying that much attention, I guess. So I didn't really know who the New Order are and the bad guy is. I'm just a grumpy old man, Ryan. But for people like me who want that fluff, which is the backstory that connects stuff, then yeah, Star Wars Resistance.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We'll add that to the description, Ryan, as a link, because it's quite fun to look at, and maybe we can talk about that at length another time if you'd like.
Well, or we could just leave it at that. We just mention that and we move on. Okay.
Cool. All right, mate. Thank you very much, Ryan. That was good fun.
Thank you very much.
Monday.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Have a nice weekend, mate. Bye.
Bye.